Five.
Coach, you are currently on top of Group A. Today's clash, absolutely important for you. How are you to navigate this pressure?
Afternoon. We don't have pressure because the group is in our hands and we don't want to lose that. I think South Africa and other teams this team need to have pressure because you need to win to pass for us. For us, it's a very important game, very difficult game because we play with a good national team, is Zimbabwe. Also, you want to prove something. So we try our best to finish this group in the first position. Is this I do today in these 9 minutes we have in front.
You played to a goalless draw against Mauritius in a match that you created a number of chances. What were the learning outcomes and how are you to rectify those problems?
I think we don't have problem. We play with the Mauritius to win. So I think we do everything to win, but football is dynamic things. You can think something, you can do something, and after in the game, the things don't happen. So we don't stop to fight. We believe in each other, and this I say in the first question. We have group in our hands. Is this we have in this moment, in this we think, and we focus from this game. We don't from past we have experience from past, but today is more important from yesterday.
Coach, just share with us and bring us into your game plan of today. How are you getting the 3 points that you need?
We need to score. Yeah, to get the 3 points, we need to score more than Zimbabwe. Is this more important thing? And we try to don't take goal. Is this we do? Is this we improve to this game? Is this we fight for them?
Thank you very much and good luck.
Thanks for you.
Good afternoon, Coach. It is a challenging group you are in, finding yourself at the bottom of the log. The pressure has really mounted. What is the expectation for today's encounter?
We expect a reaction from the players, from ourselves. We understand that the last game was not good enough. I think we're better than what we showed against a really good South Africa side. So today, the main thing is to get a reaction from the young players. Do they have the character and the personality to come out and give everything again?
You're up against a very physical side, a very pacey side that loves to play on the width, and you have your own strengths. How are you to utilize that?
They're very good in a block and in transition moments. We've tried to work and show the players what's the best way to defend it. We'll try and be more secure in possession so we don't give it away a lot and give them chances to counter-attack us. So we'll be more secure in possession.
The changes that you have made to today's lineup, what impact are you expecting of those players?
Look, we've brought a young squad. It's always good to give as many an opportunity to play as possible. Some of the changes are forced, health-wise and injury-wise. So the players that are coming in, they're selected to play for the national team, so they should be of a certain level. So we expect them to come and show that they should be playing more than they do.
Well, thank you, Coach, and good luck.
Thank you.
A very good afternoon and welcome to the Toyota Stadium. We are out in Bloemfontein for this clash in Group A. It is the 14-member competition in the Southern Africa region, and today is day 7. We welcome you all to this COSAFA tournament that has continued to make the ordinary into extraordinary. This is where you get the players that started their career, the international career. Some of the names that come quick to the mouth is that of Tiko Bukane, Dominguez, as well as Peter Ndlovu and a few others. As the players make their way onto the field, they are being shepherded out by the various officials in today's encounter. As the fair play flags are out there, the COSAFA flag, and so is the CAFA flag. The two teams come out with a huge task that lies ahead. A massive 3 points is up for grabs, and the question that is out there is who wants it most? We will have the national anthems of both countries.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us now all stand in honor of the national anthem of Mozambique. And now, while we are standing, let us honor the national anthem of Zimbabwe.
Wonderful, gripping moment for all the players and the officials out there, as they would want to make sure that their countries are being represented out there. And it is such a huge moment for all these young players that are participating in the COSAFA tournament. This is the lineup for Mozambique. Osama Pedro keeps his position. Angelo Cantolo, as well as Antonio Simbare. Captain Keynes Abdullah is in the lineup, and so is Fernando Jose, Oscar Shirin, and Ivan Kubobo. Coach Eduardo Jumese has also a capable and able bench. But let's just also welcome the Zimbabwean lineup. Tatenda Chukowero, Blessed Mashonganyika, Prosper Pandera, it is Junior Makunike and Prince Ndlovu. Up front, Nisbek Muzeda, as well as Andrew Mbeba, who is the captain of the side. Calvin Chingara is also expected to come in with some contribution. Coach Tangarire Marange is the man that puts out a very interesting formation in this encounter. the officials for this match. They hail from the different countries. Ms. Godfrey and Changananga. Let's just have a look at Mr. Gaselemale Molife of Botswana, as well as El Mafounda Mustafa Muhammad of the Comores, Patrice Milza of Mauritius, and the match commissioner is Mwanasa Kapanga of Zambia. And the VAR, and those are the officials in the VAR. 2 officials that will be doing duty in this particular match. It is all systems go as the officials on the pitch is about to get the match underway. Let me introduce to you the respective teams. Angola are in the red and black uniform. They will be attacking the goal from the left to the right of your screen. And Zimbabwe, on the other hand, in the all white, they are attacking the goal from the right to the left of your screen. They are getting into a huddle and asking for divine intervention. Captain Andrew Mbeba, he's going to be absolutely instrumental. On the opposite end, Lorenzo Manique, the man who plays for Desportivo da Maneke, he too is brought into this into the side. It is Zimbabwe that will get us underway here any minute now, as the referee looks on in anticipation, trying to synchronize the watches and making sure that this game goes on without a hitch. In the 8 meetings, this being the 9th meeting between the 2 countries, it has been a Mozambican side that is yet to win against Zimbabwe. We talk of 8 matches, 3 wins for Zimbabwe with 5 draws between the 2. Today it is a huge mountain to climb for Zimbabwe, who find themselves at the bottom of Group A with just the point that they registered, and that was due to a 0-0 draw against Mauritius. For Mozambique, it is all in their hands, and they have 4 points. They're on the summit of Group A, looking to end with aplomb and make sure that they take maximum points. However, 90 minutes separates the winners from the losers, and it will be no different. They have 4 points, and this after playing against South Africa and Mauritius, winning their first game against South Africa, and immediately the Zimbabweans turn away possession. Okay. As that ball goes out for a throw-in. It is Zimbabwe who will be very, very patient and look to the inspirational goalkeeper to ensure that we pick up the range and send that ball up front. Will be 2 contrasting sides. Zimbabwe coming in with 4 players at the back, 2 in the middle, 3 up front, so you're looking at a 4-2-3-1 formation, so a very, very packed midfielder. That is where the game will most definitely be won or lost, but I'm sure for Coach Tangarira, he is looking at his youngsters and hoping that they can be very resilient in today's encounter. Gwenya on the ball is being forced out wide. Osama doing the job, and Mozambique will come away with it from the defense as well. Goalkeeper is available with acres of space and making himself available, but pressing right up front is Zimbabwe, and eventually getting the throw-in for the efforts. Decent ball as Padera will take his time about sending the ball backwards yet again to his captain Mbeba. Mbeba nice and lanky at 1.82 meters tall. will be very instrumental in the standard situations and all the set pieces. Quite exciting is Meke. Padera operating just behind Ngwenya. Ball on the edge of the box, tidied up by Fernandinho. Another to give chase is Lorenzo. When you look at the two sides, Mozambique ranked number 96 on the FIFA rankings, and Zimbabwe number 116. So on paper, you'd look at the two sides and believe it's for Mozambique, but as we know, it is a different ball game when you get onto the field. Throw in by Mozambique. All the way to Manuel, who plays together with Osama in that centre-back role. All over the top with an interesting ask of Sumbane. The keepers very quick to just smother that and will take their time in releasing the ball. Zimbabwe approaching this match with a bit of caution. Out on the left-hand side is Meke. Ball nicely intercepted, and use of goalkeeper Wendane. It's very much unmarked and unchallenged. Talking about unmarked and unchallenged, when you look at the Zimbabwean side, Chapandiko will definitely have his work cut out this afternoon. He's got to deal with Oscar, who every now and then as a right back will find himself in an advanced position. So the referee wants the game to get going. He wants the players to be very quick in ensuring that the fluidity is not lost. You have two players hovering over the ball. And, Chapandika decides he'll walk away. And Ndlovu, very common surname in Zimbabwe. Ball intercepted and connection made from the midfield, sending it all the way back. And interesting that players like Chingara are making sure that they want the attacking players to try and close up from the front, use the high press and force the errors that are being asked of the Mozambican side, as the goalkeeper is forced to launch another attack, and coming from behind, and immediately offering his apologies is Chapinduka. That's the reason why the whistle has gone. Chapinduka just coming from behind and bundling out Fernandinho, who is expected in this match to make a difference, to make it count. 3 changes that have been made by Mozambique. We get to see players like Angelo Catolo as well as Lorenzo Manique as that ball is hacked away. Safety first. Forced out by Zimbabwe. Fernandinho looking for the return ball. Does well to play in Keynes, who is the captain of the side. Ball rotated out to Atropa. On the ball and comfortable. Coach should definitely want the players to keep the ball, be comfortable on the ball and not be forced, as that diagonal switch in search of Oscar is found to have drifted outside for a throw-in. Now the ball aimless, in hope, is disappointed with himself. The captain Keynes. Keynes plays his football for GD Chavez. Going the wrong way is what the goalkeeper is informing Padera. And, ultimately, that ball goes out for a throw into Mozambique. Quickly taken, finds his captain with acres of space and trying to eliminate a good couple of defenders, releasing the ball on the edge of the box, but good cover defense. And again, possession turned over. Here's Fernandinho, takes a strike, and that ball just continued to rise from the moment it left the foot of Fernandinho. He'll be asked to keep on trying. That is a good attempt. He asked to show me your number, and obliging as Fernandinho tries to let drip. That ball just skidding off the left foot of Fernandinho. Mozambique and Zimbabwe are not very much high-scoring teams. Well, Zimbabwe are yet to get a goal in this tournament. When we talk about goals in this tournament, a total of 14 goals have been scored in 12 matches. Almost a goal a match. Ball goes out for a throw-in, and the last touch coming off a Zimbabwean player. Coach Eduardo just giving a few instructions to the players on the park. Spaces have opened up. The circulation of the ball from the Mozambican side, trying to keep it very simple, but also defensively the importance of being compact. So that ball, the last touch coming off a Mozambican player, will give Zimbabwe an opportunity to take the throw in, or in actual fact it is a set piece that has been awarded to Zimbabwe. Captain decides he'll take the responsibility, pushing players out, but out wide is Ndlovu, looking for someone to spot him. He's opened up a lot of room, and ultimately gets the ball. The bounce of the ball, one that is rather deceiving, as Mozambique picked that ball up. The colors of Mozambique and Angola pretty much the same, but Zimbabwe with the away strip white, they normally in yellow and green. But interesting to see Ngwenya was dropping a little deep and hoping that the midfield will supply those long balls. Zimbabwe are known to be a side that also loves to keep possession, in search of Chapinduka. Forced back to his captain, that's Mbeba. Mbeba uses his goalkeeper, who is available. Mozambique are pressing that much, playing pretty much with the mid-block at this moment. Are rather concerned. They understand the assignment that Zimbabwe will come out all guns blazing. They are playing for a point that will just see them through. Goalkeeper asked, showing some lovely focus and attentiveness as the player goes down right in front of referee Godfrey Kanganga, who draws out the first yellow card. And that's the reason for the yellow card. It goes to Meke. That's Tino Tenda Meke is the player on the receiving end of the yellow card. Played back to the surprise of many of the players that were in an advanced position and were looking for a long ball, ultimately being threaded through in the middle of the park, and picked up this time. It is Angelo and Sumbane trying to combine to pose some sort of threat, but good defending. Chapinduka does well for Zimbabwe. Dethroned Pandera. It's a long ball. Chasing it is Titonda. Ball in the air, nicely cushioned by Pandera. Is Mozambique. using the width of the pitch and need a good delivery, and there's nobody there. But, important for players like Muzenda and Chapinduka to cut those crosses from being delivered into the box. Very dangerous on the wide areas as Mozambique. That is coach Tangarira Marange. Dissecting ball, some lovely back heel being played by Oscar. Keeper makes a hash of it, but fortunately enough, there's no pressure on the goalkeeper. There's no pressure on the goalkeeper. Good ball rotation from Zimbabwe, looking to just share that ball and thread it between the lines. Goalkeeper forced backwards. So his goalkeeper is the captain, Beba. And way off his line is the goalkeeper, and the captain screaming at his goalkeeper to take his position. He has a chance for Zimbabwe. It comes out to the left-hand side. Meke shows some good step over, delivers the ball, but finds a red jersey instead. Mozambique, a lovely touch that releases Angelo with acres of space. His keys being spotted by Angelo, but Fernandinho takes it out to the right-hand side, ball delivered. And again, the captain has done exceptionally well to defuse those high balls, being well positioned. Throw in by somebody, but he decides he'll leave it for Oscar. Somebody. He's being pickpocketed, and referee doesn't see anything wrong with that. Here's Zimbabwe with the break as Meke shows too much of the ball. It's very good defending by Osama. Zimbabwe with the throw-in. Switching play, looking for his captain. Zimbabwe want to keep possession. They do have the numbers up front, and ultimately that ball just rolling out for a throw-in. Zimbabwe came into this match hoping that they would play with the mid-block to force Mozambique on the back foot, to allow the defense the freedom to be able to scan the threat. Mozambique. Very nice work done there by Pandera. Ultimately giving away possession. Angelo. Save it from a corner. Make it. Intended recipient with the good turn. Bit of slipping and sliding and dissecting ball, switching direction. Intending for Ndlovu. Still allowing the fluidity of the game is the referee. Pandera. He loses out. Mozambique seem to be also packing that midfield. Sumbane. Fernandinho can switch play to the left-hand side with acres of space, but that ball is nicely intercepted. Here's Zimbabwe looking to take advantage of a lapse in concentration. Unfortunately, in that moment, the ball was slightly overcooked. Trickling over the line to allow for a throw-in for Mozambique. 16 minutes on the clock and still goalless at the Toyota Stadium. Heavy touch. And the offside flag. Emafude, Mustafa Mohammed was very quick to go up. Zimbabwe. And that will be a free kick for Mozambique. There was intentions to take it pretty quick. So we have a look at that coming from behind, and a little bit of some naughty play by Muzenda. He's clipping the ankles. Here's Mozambique with another attack, and the captain does well. Makunike, who plays with such calm and finesse. Mozambique also sharing the ball around. Zimbabwe look very, very organized in that defense. Presence. Also picking up just 2 changes from Zimbabwean side. They getting their first minutes in this match. It is their 3rd match of Group A. South Africa were shocked by Mozambique, taking 3 points in the opening fixture of Group A, and followed up with a 0-0 draw against Mauritius in a very pulsating match in which we got to see a number of opportunities created, but the failure to put the ball in the back of the net continued for the Mambas, as they are known. It's a throw in, and the referee is wanting it taken at the right position. Falls backward. Looking at the numbers in defense, as still the discipline very much clearing from Zimbabwe, and time switching to a 4-1-4-1 formation. Coming away with it is Padera. But good cover as Oscar does well to track back. That was a bit of a disappointment coming from Ndlovu. Last time he checked, Ngwenya was in between the 2 centre-backs, just threading that ball through, but Ngwenya had other ideas of trying to make a bucket run and receive that ball on the right-hand side. Is Zimbabwe on the ball, showing quite comfortable and composure. Foot up. Referee doesn't like it, and referee Louis whistle, and very quick was Mozambique to get that ball yet again, and being pressured and coming, forced to take the ball out to Manuel, as Manuel's looking for the spaces that are deemed to be available. Oscar. Padera losing out to try and keep that ball in play. When you look at Zimbabwean football, it's a far cry from where they've come. Making 20 appearances at this COSAFA tournament. Zimbabwe being one of the most successful teams in COSAFA, winning this championship in 2000, 2003, 2005. Those were the early years with a fantastic squad. 2017 and 2018 is also some of the brilliant moments in which you could remember players like Tinashe, Nengomashe. Mozambique are very quick to release that ball. Fernandinho will take a strike. Delivered into the box and a header away. Looking and lurking and hoping that Atropa could let drip, but he's taking a second too long, and Zimbabwe come away with it, looking for Meke. Good recovery by Meke for Zimbabwe. Quite a promising move here by the team in white. The Warriors, but let off an moment of lapse in concentration, but good cover as A strike from the ever-present Ndlovu on the right-hand side. Stopped in his tracks. Not allowing Mozambique much space and time. Zimbabwe looking to thread that ball through for Ngwenya, but intercepted by Mozambique. Available is Fernandinho. He gets the ball and still rides a challenge. Angelo needs to try and dissect that ball in between. The defense does that exceptionally well, but Lorenzo was closely marked. And Keeper Chicoero looks on, and very disappointed coach in Eduardo. He's asking of the decisions that are being made in that final third that are concerning. 4-4-1-1 by Mozambique. Looking to congest that midfield. Keeper has got to be cautious. He finds himself very often off his line. He has an opportunity and bundled off the ball in front of the referee. Referee doesn't see anything wrong with that. Chapinduka brings in Pandera. Pandera goes backward to Mashoni Nyanga. Zimbabwe out on the right, showing good pace, and looking at the space is Akunike, but different ideas, looking for the quick 1-2. Muzenga is in an advanced position. Muzenga delivers a ball, and Mozambique decide to give away the corner. He made quite an intelligent run, an advanced position. Muzenga delivered a decent cross that forced Mozambique to give away a corner. Some of the fans that have come to support their respective teams. It is a corner to Zimbabwe. They have 4-5 players in the box. They've played right, but they've got a contest with 9 red jerseys on the edge of the box. It's Mozambique that will want to use the explosiveness, but there's another player down and remained on the ground. Atropa, Mozambican player who's flat on his back, is on the receiving end, defending with his might. And unfortunately, that ball just ricocheting off. And the medical team being summoned on. Have a look at the corner. Ball was delivered, but intercepted, and you can see the pain almost immediately as that ball unfortunately ricochets off the crown jewels. Player is grimacing in pain. Down he goes with an intention, indicate to the bench that he needs immediate attention. The referee just asking for the treatment to happen off the pitch. Could we be seeing an early change? Nope. It is Lorenzo who's been given instructions from the technical bench and been asked to get back into position. 25 minutes on the clock. Mozambique no, Zimbabwe no. There have not been much chances, as both keepers appear to be a little bit on a holiday. That is due to the fact that you find that the ball is played in the middle of the park, diffusing the situation. Switch and play every now and then. Here is Muzenga yet again. Muzenga, strong run, ball in the box, and that is the opening goal. But there is concerns as the referee's hand goes up to deny Zimbabwe a goal, and the referee looking at his assistant referee at Emafundule Mustafa Mohammed, whose flag was up for an offside position, and asking the questions of the officials. Ngwenya, that is the moment in question, but in my eyes it doesn't look like it was an offside, and that goal should have stood. From the angle and from the commentary booth, it looked very much legitimate. But VAR will have a say in this moment. There is a check that is happening. From the moment that the run was made, I think when you look at Mr. Ngwenya, that is Thandolwe Nkosi Ngwenya, he was in an onside position. Could we get to see the first goal that is scored by Zimbabwe in this tournament? They played a 0-0 draw against Mauritius. They went down by 2-0 against South Africa. So referee Godfrey Nkanganga is waiting to get a bit of help from the VAR assistant referees, who are looking at different angles and want to make sure that if it is a legitimate goal, Zimbabwe will be given the goal, and that will be awarded to Thandolwe Nkosi Ngwenya. A little bit of anxiety, you can see the referee, and he could be called to the box, but at this moment the goalkeeper, who looks also a bit anxious, is hoping that it's not to be the goal. The players down there are waiting to celebrate. This is what VAR has taken away from the players, and you're wondering if Thandolwe Nkosi Ngwenya will celebrate again, because he believed it was a good one, and so did I from the commentary booth when one looked at that particular angle. It is almost 30 minutes and 0-0 is the scoreline, and you have a look at that. The player in the red appears to have played him onside. It looks pretty much onside to me in that picture that was shared momentarily. So Angola, who would be playing much later in their group, Angola and Malawi. That is the later match that will kick off at 6 p.m. But right now it's Mozambique and Zimbabwe that are battling it out, and looks like the goal stats. And that is the first goal for Zimbabwe. It is a goal, and Zimbabwe draw first blood. Ngwenya goes down on his knees. They're loving it. They are celebrating. Good movement showed by Zimbabwe, their circulation of the ball and combination play. Really got that ball in the right direction. 1-0 the scoreline at the Toyota Stadium in Bloemfontein in Group A. Zimbabwe will also move to 4 points as it stands. Well, that is the goal scorer. That is Thandolwe Nkosi Ngwenya. Thandolwe Nkosi Ngwenya. The ball gone out to the left-hand side. Sumbane. Ball out to Oscar. He's being spurred on. They'll want to try and get the quick equalizer as Zimbabwe make it on the ball. Intercepted this time. Manuel does the job. So soon as Oscar makes his way up front. Let's have a look at that moment as the ball being dissected between that defense. Did well to stay on side, and it was from a very, very tight angle, but did do enough to get that ball to trickle over the line. That is to give Zimbabwe hope. The coach says the bunch of youngsters that have got the resilience, they are out to compete. Ball out on the left-hand side, circulated, looking for a response from Mozambique. Ball over the top, and sneaking in is Lionel. Release from the goalkeeper. Another ball looking for the goal scorer. Keeper comes out, and a touch on the player, and it is a penalty, indicating that it is a penalty to Zimbabwe. Seems to be a problem is Thandolenko Singwenya. He was at full stretch, and a clip of the ankle inside the box, resulting in a penalty. Have a look at this moment. The trailing leg was clipped of Thandolenko Singwenya. That's the moment. And the goalkeeper was very quick to turn around and look around him as if he knew that he was in trouble. He was in trouble from the moment he touched that ball. And Magunige is just whispering in his ear to say, well done, lad. Have a look at this. Takes the ball away from the goalkeeper. He went for the player instead of the ball, and that's the reason why the penalty must be given. Referee again consulting with the VAR, but his instincts are that it is a penalty. Well, there's no need for VAR in this particular moment. He knew exactly from the moment that challenger went through that what he wants to do is to give a penalty. Zimbabwe have 4 players in that penalty spot. The question is, who will take it? You have Thandolenko around that. You also have Mbeba, the captain. Padera is also in the mix. Edmilson Mwendane is up against the captain of Zimbabwe. There's still some discussion around who's going to take the penalty, but it does look like it will be given to Thandolenko, a player who was fouled by the goalkeeper. Can he make it a brace? With the entire Zimbabweans looking on, the entire nation on the shoulders of Thandolenko Singwenya. Is he out there to disappoint? Referee does not want any encroaching. Thandolenko up against Edmilson. Thandolenko picks a spot and makes it 2-0. Picks a spot and makes it 2-0. Very decisive with precision, and was not about to let his team down, nor was he about to let his nation down. Zimbabwe are in the driving seat here in the first half. A penalty, Thandolenko Singwenya making sure that he puts that in the back of the net. Have a look at the challenge. Keeper went out, didn't play the ball, play the man. And that's the reason why they were punished by Thandolenko. Very well taken penalty. The keeper going the one way and the ball going the other. A lot has been asked of Mozambique as the coaches get into a huddle. They know that this group becomes very, very tight, and we could have 2 teams with the same number of points, and should we have two teams in the group with the same number of points in the pool phase, they will be separated by the result of the head-to-head meetings in the first instance. But if that doesn't work out, then the next criteria will be goal difference resulting from the group matches as that ball goes over the line. If there is still no clear winner after consulting, then the goal difference in all group matches and finally fair play will come into the fold. And that is also looking at the discipline of the teams. Yellow cards, red cards, that will be evaluated. And failing that goes to the drawing of lots. But right now it is a corner for Mozambique. Ball in the air, two-fisted effort. Bamboozled and into the back of the net. The deflection allows Mozambique to come back. The deflection gives hope to Mozambique. They are in it. The bounce of the ball had goalkeeper Tatenda Chikwero rooted to his line. Did well as that ball on the volley, bounce of the ball trickling in front of the goalkeeper. You would ask about the positioning of the goalkeeper. That was wanting, and that allowed Mozambique the goal that brings them back into this match. 2-1 the scoreline. 2-1 the scoreline. Mashonganyika was caught napping, so was the goalkeeper. Everybody looked on and wondered. Mozambique looking, buzzing. Here's a chance for Sumbane. Mozambique, Sumbane taking the ball out to the left-hand side. It needs a decent cross. Obliges, ball in the air, keeper comes out, gets a touch, he's out of position, and Fernandinho could have done better. Not getting a hold of that, but one just seeing a little bit of uncertainty in that defense of Zimbabwe that has been shell-shocked. They are showing some sort of concerns. And belief has been restored to Mozambique. Been asked by the coach to overload the wings and take that ball far out with the hope that a good decent cross will pay dividends. But recycling of that ball that nobody knew anything about caught Zimbabwe napping. Padera, Meke showing some sort of step over, looking for the support. It comes in the form of Chapnuka. Mekelu takes his eye off the ball as that ball goes out of play.
Tino, what do you want? Where Tino?
Intercepted by Tino. Another strike, spotting the keeper off his line. That was packed with venom. Makunike just asking the questions of the goalkeeper. Is he alert? They'll want to keep this advantage as they go into the break in 5 minutes or so. Time to navigate and manage the game out carefully for both players on the park. Lorenzo, right in front of the referee, is a free kick given to Mozambique. The referee wants the ball to be started at the right place. And those are precious seconds that are being lost by Mozambique. Spaces have opened up. The game will definitely be one in the second half to look forward to, as at the moment a lot of navigation taking place. Zimbabwe will want to retain their dominance and retain possession but Mozambique momentarily seem to have their tails up. Ball in the middle of the park. Lorenzo playing it back, finds Lionel. Lionel looks for his captain keys, switches play to the left-hand side, and he finds Angelo, who has acres of space, comes back to Osama. Osama looks for Manuel, but the captain decides he'll take this game forward. Angelo on the left-hand side, on the overlapping run, looking to give him width, intercepted by Oscar. Ball in! Comfortably into the hands of goalkeeper. Unmarked in the box was Lorenzo. Unmarked in the box was Lorenzo. Nicely floated ball and should have done better, could have done better. Keeper displaying his qualities. Zimbabwe win it back. Here's the goal scorer. Ball out to the left-hand side. Tino on the ball. Rides one, rides two, takes a strike, and makes it look so easy for the goalkeeper. That is Ed Nielsen. Muendare. Lorenzo. There are questions being asked about the control in that particular moment. Mbeba, coach looking on of Zimbabwe, wanting his team to finish rather strongly. Tino on the left-hand side, the intended recipient. Lorenzo looking to play it back to Manuel, who finds Osama. Osama takes it out to Atropa. Atropa has Angelo on the left-hand side. Atropa cuts in, but it is Sumbane on the ball for Mozambique. Sumbane, good run, strike as well. Quite encouraging. He believes the last touch was off a Zimbabwean player asking for a corner, but we also had the assistant referee whose flag was up. He has a strong run and scooping that in the final moment, and ball goes out for a goal kick. There's been a nice flow to this match, not that many challenges on either side. Referee has really commanded his position. It's a throw in to Mozambique. They want to get on with it with the hope that whilst Zimbabwe are still licking their wounds and wondering how they let that ball in, they want to capitalize on a moment of brilliance. Here's a chance for Zimbabwe. Tino, ball in, and tidied up. This time it is Lionel who finds himself in the defensive third. That ball overcooked. Just 7 minutes are being added on. 7 minutes. Those are long minutes for Zimbabwe. And for Mozambique, they'll want to increase the tally and hope that it goes up to 10 minutes. They're not done yet. Muzenna. Defense of Zimbabwe was in disarray moments or two after conceding. To have settled down nicely, but it's in the middle of the park where Mozambique tend to be winning the first ball. Here's Fernandinho switching it to the left side, looking for Angelo, who had drifted and cut in. Asking much of Angelo. Coach Eduardo not happy with his player out on the left-hand side. That's Angelo. Been forced out wide. He seems to be drifting every now and then to cut inside. Zimbabwe is setting a couple of traps with the hope that they can come in and attack from the middle of the park. And Zimbabwe with the ball. Here's Mozambique. It's the captain, Mbeba. who has to deal with the Zimbabwe, and the last touch coming off Mbeba. Quickly taken as Oscar was on the receiving end of the throw-in. As Fernandinho. Angelo would give him the width if spotted. Fernandinho decides he'll go in search of Lorenzo, but here Zimbabwe using the momentum to turn defense into attack. He has to deal with Pandera, who had given him the option. Zimbabwe nicely circulating the ball, but this time they go out wide, trying to cut in and taking a shot. The deflection off his own player, still bobbling in the box and not able to get it away. As Mozambique will recycle, they will start again from a little deeper than they would want. Nice back heel, picked up by Ndlovu. Ndlovu can go out to his right, can go to his left, he decides to shoot. Picked up by Fernandinho. Oscar, he's forced backwards by Tino. Fernandinho. Captain will make sure he keeps it in play. Chapunduka playing with his back and stretching play, looking for Ndlovu. Does well to keep that ball in play. Zimbabwe seem to be enjoying the ball out on the wings, being laid back for Pandera, rather. Again, you have 10 red shirts. Here's the goal scorer. He's been dispossessed, been closed down very quickly. Shonganyika has been solid in the centre back. Tino on the receiving end. First touch important, but to slip at a vital moment. This gives Mozambique the time to get a foot on it and hack it out of play. On the back foot right now is Mozambique. Zimbabwe piling on the pressure in the closing stages of the first 45. On the edge of the box. And the offside flag goes up. Being taken quickly by Mozambique. When you look at the players without the ball from Mozambique trying to get into the right positions, they have to deal with the delightful ball that is whipped in lack of information. Strike! That ball coming off the woodwork. That was audacious. And disappointed there is somebody who thought he was on the money. Snapshot, he gets a high five. Have a look at this ball. It was in the air, nicely cushioned, dilly-dallying on the ball. There was Chigara, and ultimately sneaking in is the nippy Sumbane, and he got a good strike of that, and going over the woodwork. Corner delivered in the box, and a good save there made by the goalkeeper. Ball brought back in, another header. This time it goes wide. Mozambique have made some great effort to try and get back into this match and be all level pegging. It was the corner that was whipped in with delight, and a good connection made by the captain. Ultimately, Oscar winning it, bringing it back in, and the final touch just going rather wide. Here's Mozambique finishing the half with the plum. Angelo, he needs a support play. It's come in the form of Pedro, and ultimately the deflection of Zimbabwe gives Mozambique another corner, a flurry of corners in the closing stages. Sumbane given the responsibility here. 7 players to aim for in the box. Ball is in the air. Keeper comes out and smothers that. It is precious seconds that have been wound down. Zimbabwe finding themselves being asked plenty of questions. Hacked away high up in the air. Atropa does well to win it back for Mozambique. Comes kindly to Tony of Zimbabwe. Trying to thread that ball between the lines. There's space on the left-hand side for Padera. Eventually gets the ball and coming from the left-hand side. Padera closed down from the front, and that will be a goal kick to Mozambique. They have found the rhythm as Mozambique and claw their way back. However, it is still Zimbabwe that are in the lead by 2-1. A goal scored and a penalty that was scored by Tino Ngwenya. Pulling one back. This Mozambique at the vital moment. Osama drilling that one in to give the lead to Mozambique as they go into the break. The scoreline at the Toyota Stadium in Bloemfontein is Zimbabwe 2, Mozambique 1. We will have a look at the statistics of the first 45 minutes in which you are to confirm the goal scorers there being Tino Ngwenya. 2-1 in favor of Zimbabwe against Mozambique. Let's have a look at the report card of the first 45 minutes. In possession almost straight down the middle, the corners in favor of Mozambique, trying to impose their stature and send the big boys up front, Osama and Manuel. But when you're looking at the goal attempts, there's been quite an avalanche of attempts from Mozambique as well as Zimbabwe. But what matters is the scoreline on the top of your screen, which reads Mozambique 1, Zimbabwe 2. Quickly taken, finds his captain with acres of space and trying to eliminate a good couple of defenders, releasing the ball on the edge of the box, but good cover defense. And again, possession turned over. Here's Fernandinho, takes a strike, and that ball just continued to rise from the moment it left the foot of Fernandinho. That is a good attempt. He asked to show me your number, and obliging as Fernandinho tries to let drop that ball. Dissecting ball, some lovely back heel being played by Oscar. Keeper makes a hash of it, but fortunately enough, there's no pressure on the goalkeeper. Zimbabwe out on the right, showing good pace, and looking at the space is Makunike. But different ideas, looking for the quick 1-2. Mozenga is in an advanced position. Mozenga delivers a ball, and Mozambique decide to give away the corner. He made quite an intelligent run, an advanced position. Mozenga, switch and play every now and then. Here is Mozenga yet again. Mozenga, strong run, ball in the box, and that is the opening goal. But there is concerns as the referee's hand goes up to deny Zimbabwe a goal, and the referee looking at his assistant referee at Emafundune Mustafa Mohammed, whose flag was up for an offside. Let's have a look at that moment as the ball being dissected between that defense. Did well to stay on side, and it was from a very, very tight angle, but did do enough to get there. Another ball looking for the goal scorer. Keeper comes out, and a touch on the player, and it is a penalty, indicating that it is a penalty to Zimbabwe. Seems to be a problem is Tendolenko Ngwenya. That's the moment. And the goalkeeper was very quick to turn around with the entire Zimbabweans looking on. the entire nation on the shoulders of Thandolwenkosi Ngwenya. Is he out there to disappoint? Referee does not want any encroaching. Thandolwenkosi up against Edmilson. Thandolwenkosi picks a spot and makes it 2-0. Picks a spot and makes it 2-0. Very decisive with precision, and was not about to let his team down, nor was he about to let his team down. Zimbabwe are in the driving seat here in the first half. A penalty. Thandolwenkosi Ngwenya. Have a look at the challenge. Keeper went out, didn't play the ball, play the man, and that's the reason why they were punished by Thandolwenkosi. Very well taken penalty. The keeper going the one way and the ball going the other. A lot has been asked of Mozambique as the coaches get into a huddle. Right now it is a corner for Mozambique. Ball in the air, two-fisted effort. Bamboozled and into the back of the net. The deflection allows Mozambique to come back. The deflection gives hope to Mozambique. They are in it. In front of the goalkeeper. You would ask about the positioning of the goalkeeper. That was wanting, and that allowed Mozambique the goal that brings them back into this game forward. Angelo on the left-hand side, on the overlapping run, looking to give him width. Intercepted by Oscar. Ball in! Comfortably into the hands of goalkeeper. Unmarked in the box was Lorenzo. Nicely floated ball and should have done better. Could have done better. Keeper displaying his qualities.
I will hold the substance.
Hey, Kagamira, let's check. Kante.
13-7. 13-7.
Juju, you got a midfield. Yeah, back three. Yeah, Mozambique three. Tita, that's a six. Six, yeah.
Welcome back to the second half in a match that has given us 3 goals thus far. If you are just joining us, Zimbabwe are in the lead by 2 goals to 1. We've seen 2 changes made by Mozambique. Walter Nakusa is come on for Angelo Catolo, and Chamito Afandeka is come on for Lorenzo Manico. Those are the 2 changes made by Mozambique. hoping that they could pick up from where they left off, finishing the first half rather stronger of the two sides. Ball delivered into the box, and leaping highest in that particular moment is Mbeba. Muzenda sends another long ball up front, looking for the goal poacher, who's on a brace. That is Tito. Zimbabwe bringing that ball back, whipping it from the wings, and not able to benefit from a decent ball that was recycled by Zimbabwe. Ball goes out for a throw-in. It was a goal that was scored by Thandulenko Singwenya in the 27th minute, and a penalty in the 36th minute that was also scored by Thandulenko Singwenya for Zimbabwe to give him a 2-0 lead. 2 minutes later, it was the winger Lionel, number 16, Kalsau, pulling a humdinger of a shot that caught the goalkeeper napping. All the way to the goalkeeper of Mozambique, who's had to pick the ball out of his net on 2 occasions. 2 changes that is hoping to give the upper hand to the Mozambican side, the Mambas as they are known, but the brave Warriors are soldiering on and will want to hold on to the lead, if not add on to the numbers, this being their first 2 goals of the tournament. In the previous match, Zimbabwe were beaten 2-0 by South Africa and also played to a goalless draw against Mauritius. But here they are in the driving seat. Ball goes out for a throw-in. Well, Chamito, who plays his football for Black Bulls, and Volta plays for Ferroviario da Beira. That is one of the famous teams out in Mozambique, Ferroviario da Beira. Picked up by Padera. Zimbabwe in the middle of the park, showing a lot of impetus going forward. That ball just going to no man's land, and a bit of disappointment from Ndlovu. Angola looking for Sumbane, finds him. It's a Mozambican ball. Ball over the top.
Look where the ball ends. Look where the ball ends. Come on.
Picked up by Zimbabwe. As far as Padera. Ball taking a deflection en route. Beaten to the ball is Keys. Is another hard-running Sumbane. Needs to deliver that ball into the box, but finds a white shirt instead. That ball goes out for a throw-in. The goal scorer. Foul. Push from the back. The referee doesn't like that. It's Fernandinho given to take the set piece on the edge of the box. The captain tries to turn it in his favor. Pandera tidies up for Zimbabwe. Good passage of play for Mozambique. Ball out to the left-hand side. Available is Atropa. Last touch coming off Osama and Manuel, who are combining well, but Manuel seems to be the player given responsibility to just shut the back door. Ngwenya is lurking, and so is Makunike. On the ball is Makunike. Ndlovu. Muzenda. Ndlovu, very famous surname. Here's an opportunity for Petra Protin, and nicely defended by Mozambique. Atropa. Zimbabwe pick it up from the middle of the park, and pushing the numbers forward is Mozambique. Been asked to take it easy. He decides he'll take it by the scruff of his neck as Chingara, the player, jersey number 23, who started his football at the age of 6 in the Highlands Academy. Here he is playing for the senior national team, and he confirms it is a dream come true. So as a number of players that are getting their first caps for Zimbabwe. Ball in the box and a strike taken, but it is dealt with. No one in support. Ball is just lifted up, and that will be picked up. Volta has come on and settled in that defense. Mozambique. Atropa pushing a lot more forward here in the second half. He needs to deliver a quality ball, does exactly that, but it is picked up by Zimbabwe. Ndlovu. Padera. Comfortable in that defense. Mashonganyika has been pretty solid together with his captain, and at Muzenda. There's Angola trying to open up the pitch. They're looking for the width. They know they can be detrimental for a number of players, and forced out in search of a player who is available. Sambane does well to play the 1-2, but it is intercepted by the Zimbabwean defense. Here's the 2-goal hero on the day, Ngwenya. He runs out, it runs into trouble, is Ngwenya. Oh, that is the skill we want to see, but it needs to take him forward. That ball going in between the legs. Just looking to create space for himself. But here's Mozambique launching attack of their own. They have red jerseys that are in an advanced position, playing the 1-2, and ball in the box. Still bobbling, and Zimbabwe get it away, and that time as far as the halfway line. The captain Keys trying to ask questions, and Mashonganyika stands firm. Two-footed challenge there by Osama. It's another yellow card for a similar incident. That's the moment. Look at that. Goes over the top. And, the intention was pretty clear to nibble on the ankles of Chigara. He did well to quite alert in that particular moment. Osama Pedro getting into the referee's books. So Mozambique, who have a yellow card to the name, as well as Zimbabwe. Tino also in the referee's book. 55 minutes on the clock. Mozambique are trailing Zimbabwe by 2-1. In this cold, he's absolutely brave. He's not to be deterred by the weather. He's come out to support his favorite player, and guess who that is? Andrew Kambila Mbeba, the captain of Zimbabwe. Yes, Mozambique give away possession. So does Zimbabwe show too much of the ball. The bounce of the ball is deceiving one, and will tidy up in that defense. That seems to be playing with a lot of composure. Quickly taken for Danilo. Ball played back. Picked up by Volta. Kusa. You can't fault for effort as that ball trickles over the line and giving chase. You can see the Mozambican team are applying a lot of urgency and being asked to switch on by Atropa, urging the players to give it their all and try and play half ground, pressing high. Zimbabwe, it's a long ball intercepted by Manuel along the halfway line. Zimbabwe win it back. Makunike decides he will assist up front, but here's Tino hustling away. Zimbabwe pick it up, and they want to take that ball forward. They need the support play. Ball drilled in, but finds a red jersey. It is Mozambique that come away with it as far as Padera. Zimbabwe with the ball and need to push a lot forward. So is Mozambique. Mozambique out to the right, finds Ndlovu. Ndlovu lifts that ball up highest. Keeper comes out. Good communication, and is not to let his team down. Mozambique. Ball in the air. Atropa. Player goes down right in front of the referee, and he stayed down. A challenge. Looked like there was much malicious intent, but I think the elbow, as you have a look at the jump, he uses the elbow to get into the back is Atropa, and that is what the referee doesn't like. Player being helped up to his feet is Mozambique. Alfandeka is the other player that has come in for Mozambique, taking out two players. Angelo, who was operating on the left-hand side of Mozambique, he was substituted after putting in a good shift. If we're looking at the foul count, 10 in total. Zimbabwe certainly being the team that's showing a lot more impetus going forward. Ball whipped back and finds a red jersey. The intention was pretty clear. Mozambique trying to whip that ball back, and instead of finding a teammate, it was the frantic defending of Mozambique that got that ball away. Let's have a look at the challenge. He goes in, and the trailing foot gets the last touch. That ball, the last touch is from Pandera. So this match fast reaching the 1 hour mark. And it's still the Zimbabwean, the Brave Warriors, that are in the lead. Switching that diagonal ball going out to the far side. Walter Zimbabwe come away with it, and it is the pace of Tino that will be troublesome in asking the questions of Lionel, who has dropped into that defense. So Lionel has dropped a little deeper than expected, and Chamito and Volta, who have come in, are giving them a lot of attacking options. So the referee is taking his time about getting the game started, and it is a throw into Zimbabwe. Did well to stay on side, Makunik, and still Zimbabwe do well to get out of a tight situation. Tino on the ball delivered into the box, and on the edge of the box, trying to connect it on the volley, doesn't come off. But the offside flag goes up, and the referee acknowledges his assistant on the right-hand side, and that will allow Mozambique a little bit of breathing space. Looking to poke holes is Angola. They seem to be troubled by the pace of Atropa, and ultimately a goal kick it is. Referee just coming to the touchline. Will be going all the way to seems to be some issues with the equipment. The referee, as the coaches are sharing a moment or two, an opportunity for them to get a few instructions over to his players. Here's Coach Tangarira and Coach Eduardo. It's been a wonderful COSAFA tournament. Match day 7. This is match number 13. There is another game that will be played a lot later at this very same venue, so you can make your way to the Toyota Stadium. It will be an intriguing one as Angola take on Malawi at 6 p.m. Now, missing from this tournament is the Seychelles. We have a guest in Tanzania. They seem to be a nation that loves coming to play in the COSAFA tournament. Group B, Angola, Lesotho, Malawi, and Namibia. And Group C comprises of Eswatini, Madagascar, Tanzania, and Group B, it's Botswana, the Comores, and Zambia. Volta looking for Sumbane. Sumbane does well to find Atropa, but she has too much of the ball, and Zimbabwe come away with it. Ngwenya keeping on an onside position. Here's Zimbabwe, need the numbers, but instead dilly-dallies, and as he tries to deliver that cross, doesn't find a teammate, instead outnumbered. Zimbabwe's transitional play in that particular moment been questioned, I'm sure, by the coach as well, as Padera loses out. That is through the strength of Oscar, who's remained on the ground. 65 minutes on the clock. It's Zimbabwe still in the driving seat. 3 goals that have been scored in this match. Lionel also getting onto the score sheet in the 38th minute for Mozambique. Walter finds Atropa. Quite an exciting player, quite a tricky player is Atropa. Atropa plays his football out for Club Desportivo da Costa. Academia is another club that has contributed to the players in the starting 11. Asociano, Black Bulls, Chavez, another one of those. But Club Desportivo da Costa has got quite a number of players in this playing squad. As a player goes down just in front of the referee, he's been the most foul player on the park. Is Mr. Ngwenya, Tando Lenkosi, and some of them call him Tando Lenkosi, and that's the reason why the referee has just blown his whistle. Still no changes made by Zimbabwe. Did well to stay on side. He's Tando. He has Ndlovu. He also has the availability of Muzenda. Goes to Ndlovu. And you'll remember Peter Ndlovu of Zimbabwe, the most celebrated player, I think, of the earlier generation. Scored, 39 goals and 81 caps for the national team, as the goalkeeper gets a hand to it, but gives away a corner. Mr. Ndlovu is in an administrative role at Mamelodi Sundowns, rewarded with loyalty. Has done well as we have a look at that ball being whipped in by Mashonganyika, and the keeper sprawling on the ground, but did enough to turn it for a corner. There's a player grimacing in pain. Seems like there's issues with his calf. That's the nibble. Have a look at this. That was horrible. That should have been a red card. And you got to give credit, though, to Mashonganyika, who did well to continue his run. And that was the moment when the challenge was still hot on the body. After he released that ball, felt all the pain, and he's being stretchered off. And questions been asked. You can see the captain, Mbeba, trying to draw the attention of the referee to say, have a look at VAR. Could this be a red card? And preparing for a change is Mozambique, as well as Zimbabwe. For Mozambique, it will be their third change. It's Calvinho, Musa Neves, Calvinho, he comes out for the goal scorer. So you then have Zimbabwe preparing for their first change. Tanaka Monemo is the player that is being prepared, and the referee takes his time. It confirms the changes that have been made, and Tanaka has been asked to just wait by the byline, by the touchline rather. So corner for Zimbabwe. Every single red jersey is in the box, and the captain does well to get it away, but Zimbabwe trying to stay on his feet and ultimately wins a throw-in in and around the big box. And this time the captain was forcing his way in. In actual fact, Chapinduka is the player that was fouled. So it's a three-man war as the goalkeeper organizes himself. They've got all the players back defending. They realize that Zimbabwe is a threat. Captain Mbeba is over the ball, so is Pereira. Looks like it will be Mbeba who will take this ball in. Mbeba delivers and into the hands of the goalkeeper. Use of the hand, and referee acknowledges and allows play to continue. Zimbabwe keeping possession. And another player goes down. Tino goes down in a heap, holds his head. The referee is quickly just checking up on him if all is well. And, he is trying to see if he can get the opposition a yellow card, but that is the strength of Manuel. So Zimbabwe find themselves trying to get in between the two players, Osama and Manuel, but the ball is hacked away, launching an attack. Chamitu, who's come on here in the second half, still keeps the ball. Chamitu switching play and out looking at Atropa. Atropa does well to try and cut in, and ultimately Zimbabwe come away with it. That ball just being circulated in the middle of the park. Atropa yet again finds Sumbane. Sumbane looking for Atropa. Quick 1-2, and that ball goes out for a corner. Corner to Mozambique. Well, that is the first change being made by Zimbabwe. Ndlovu gives away, and his place is being taken by Tanaka Munemu. Tanaka Munemu is the player to give way, to come on for Prince Ndlovu in a moment when they need to organize themselves. Usually some coaches will wait until the set piece is taken. Chikuero gets two hands to it. Chikuero has not been under pressure here in the second half at all. Ball just trickling over the line. It will be Mozambique that will want to make use of the opportunity, turning this into an advantage, but good defending, stern defending by Zimbabwe. It is Tapinduka in that moment. Mozambique played back, looking for Volta. Volta finds Sumbane. Cell of just the drop of the shoulder was enough to send Atropa the wrong way. And was in cruise control. Zimbabwe finding their rhythm here. Can they hold on to the 3 points that will propel them to fourth? Bearing in mind that South Africa and Mauritius are in the same group. And as soon as we get the scoreline of what's happening in that particular group, we will share with you as it opens the group. Atropa. That ball goes out for a throw-in. We've seen some urgency from Mozambique. Coach Eduardo pushing his players forward, but that just exposing them defensively. Sumbane, Atropa on the left, needs a good delivery, but good defending. Mashonganyika does well. He's been absolutely stellar in that defense. Mashonganyika, he's using his height, he's using his mobility to ensure that Mozambique are wanting when it comes to those high balls. Shall we confirm the score from the Toyota Stadium? Mozambique are trailing by a goal as Zimbabwe finding themselves in the driving seat. Tanaka. Well, that ball, his coach wouldn't be too happy. When we're looking at the number of goals, it's even, Stephen, the goals attempt, 9 apiece. That's how tight this match has been. And when you look at the shots on target, though, a better return by Zimbabwe with 5 of those on target. Here's another opportunity, but that ball will go out for a goal kick. But too much to ask, and also edging out the possession stats is Zimbabwe with 52%, a slight advantage. Could we be seeing a Mozambican side that is tiring? "77 minutes, about 13 minutes to go of regulation time." Atropa, ball in, looking to find Oscar and asking questions of a handball. And Oscar on the far side, who's to take the throw in. There's a moment, there's a break in that, and I'm sure the referee's having some voices in his ears, and it's a sub that is happening, but the fourth official is not ready. So here's Mozambique launching another ball, header. Absolutely impressive is Mashonganyika. Atropa picked up playing the 1-2. Muzenda. Zimbabwe looking to poke holes in a defense that is pushed up and push the bodies up in search of the equalizer. So this is still the group stages. Points. Neves, who's come in here in the second half, picked up by Muzenga. Switched to the left-hand side by Pandera. Pandera finds a determined Makunike. Ball in, but closed down on the edge of the box. The captain tidies up. Keys. So another player being prepared. Looks like Braden Maposa. Braden Maposa. Menzi Braden Maposa is the player to come in for Zimbabwe. Coming on for Tino Meke, the goal scorer. He's run his socks off. So in comes Menzi Maposa, Mazwi. He's got quite a long name, and that was a horrible challenge on Muzenga. A yellow card is shown out, dished out immediately, and walking away is Victor. That clipped on the ankle, no intention of playing the ball. Walter Nakusa, who was one of 3 players that came on in the second half for Mozambique, is on the receiving end. Nakusa, Alfandeka, as well as Neves. And Zimbabwe been given the free kick. Referee just making sure that Fernandinho is 10 yards. Mazenga is up and about. Good to see that. Zenda trying to get behind that defense, proving to be very difficult as goalkeeper smothers that and puts it in the handbag. Ball in the air, Chipanduka does well here. Zimbabwe with the ball in an advanced position. Player just coming on, that is Menzi. Menzi has come on to bring on his creativity and ultimately gets a corner for Zimbabwe. His pants is almost touching the floor and he's just come on. Some of the style that is on display. At one moment, we used to get the players with peroxide, but now it's the shorts that go all the way down on the floor. As we look at 7 corners. Mozambique dominating in that corner count, but it is Zimbabwe who have to deal with it. The ball is headed away by Atropa. This as far as Mozenda, delivered in the box, header. Bouncing of the ball, tidied up there by Oscar. He'll come away with it. Can Mozambique turn defense into attack? Stopped in his tracks, but here's Mozambique picking it up in the middle of the park, but again, it's Chingara who is just operating just in front of the back four for Zimbabwe. Intercepting the pass. With about 8 minutes to go to the 90. Both teams are guilty of giving away possession, but Manuel is looking for Osama, finds Osama. Osama looks for Fernandinho. Fernandinho does well to pick his head up, ball over the top, and a header, looking for his goalkeeper. Kept in play. In actual fact, it is having trickled over the line, but good determination there by Mashanganyika. Ball delivered by Atropa. That was very disappointing. Menzi. Tino sends it out. Ball intercepted by Mozambique. Have they run out of gas? 3 changes made, still are not turning the game on its head. Fernandinho on the receiving end, looking for the space and capitalize and finding Atropa. Needs a good delivery. Ball in the box. And giving chase. Very determined. Chapinduka does well for Zimbabwe. Very good decision making by Chapinduka. Good clearance. He's really been a menace in that defense for Zimbabwe. He's kept them pretty solid, forcing Mozambique to go out wide in some moments. Here's Mozambique yet again. Atropa, a player who has really hogged the touchline, but he has Mozenda for company. I think one looks at the Zimbabwean side with 5 minutes to go, probably say are going into the defensive, and that is detrimental and inviting trouble. There are 2 goals to the good. Captain wins that ball in the air. Neves loses out. As far as Fernandinho, Zimbabwe hacking it away. Lack of communication between the 2 players, but they'll dust themselves. Menzi, he's been forced out as Menzi. He's come on with a bit of creativity, is Menzi. Ngwenya does well, looking to play that ball to Makunike. The keeper, with 5 minutes to go to the 90, plus referee's optional time. managing the space very well. Mozambique have 2 players lurking on the touchline, looking to make an impact. There's a decent ball in between the defense, but a good touch that just gets that ball away. Chigara. It's Zimbabwe's youngster, Tanaka. Tanaka keeping possession. He has to deal with Manuel. Tanaka picks his head up, finds Makunike. Makunike, who just circulates the ball and looking for the spaces. Makunike gets a return ball, who is available on the left-hand side. Here's Zimbabwe, ball in, and it had to take a dropper to tidy up. Not too many players to benefit from that. And a foul. Mashonganyika, who's been asked to remain disciplined in that defense. However, Menzi, here's that ball, a very teasing ball, could have benefited. So time to sacrifice. Manuel has given way, and his place is been taken by Edson. And another player to come on. Is Baptista Francisco. He comes out for Francisco Fernandinho. So Baptista Francisco and Edson Mukana are the 2 players that have come on. And Fernandinho has given away. And so has Manuel, sacrificing a defender for an attacker. Manuel, who's had a good game in the defense. So that is the bench that is very anxious. And that is the earlier call of an offside. Flag goes up immediately. Well, they've played all their cards. Is Mozambique. Here's Zimbabwe playing the puff and pass. They need the numbers coming in and support, or pretty slow in coming in, is Pandera. Neves winning that ball for Zimbabwe is Chingara. Good play by Ngwenya. He's been troublesome all afternoon, is Ngwenya. Available is Chipanduka. Ball in the box, and keeper does well, but with his heart on his sleeves, had to pick that up. It's been a good performance. Neves, ball out for Chimotu, and ultimately going out for a goal kick. Well, could this be the moment? And highlighting that Mozambique have never beaten Zimbabwe, and that record almost remains intact. Nathan Mutasa is the player to come on for the troublesome Tandolwenkosi Ngwenya. Tandolwenkosi Ngwenya, it is, they're loving it. They are from Zimbabwe. You can see with the flag, they've come in support of the proud national team players. He's had a good day at the offices. Pandera continues a marauding run. Menzi is Nathan, who's been bundled out of the equation. Nathan, who's just come on, showing some pace, and he loses out in a body check. Many players will say, no, there's nothing wrong with that. Say this game is for men and not boys, but we've seen some youngsters come through to really being part of this vibrant COSAFA tournament, which one's got to give credit to the COSAFA region for making sure that football is played on a continuous basis and looking after both youth and the senior teams, as well as women's football in all ages. You've got to really give credit to all those involved, and that ball is whipped in with 8 minutes added to the 90. There's an opportunity for Zimbabwe to search for the third goal that would really deflate Mozambique. They still are in with a chance to fight for a draw. That is all that they need. And that ball goes out. Atroba. Good delivery into the box. Keeper comes out. Flying assassin does well in this moment to just pluck that ball in the air. Nicely protected by his defenders. So Walters coming. Chamito came on. Edson came on. Baptista's come on for Mozambique. Still no change to the scoreline. Lovely touch on. It is Chamito on the ball. Played in the box. Neves needs to play it back on the edge of the box. Can Mozambique pull an equalizer? The goalkeeper has other ideas and says, no. Just getting a touch and just turning it away for a corner. Mozambique want to finish in a flurry. Mozambique want the draw. They know that would be good enough to get them into the knockout phases. They've pushed every player into the box. Ball in the air. Zimbabwe will come away with it. Can they turn defense into attack? Anywhere will do, as that will allow Zimbabwe some time to recollect, some time to organize themselves. As we have a look at that moment by Neves. Ball played back and a shot got the keeper just turning that away over the bar. Oscar, who hasn't stopped running. Atropa had a busy day at the office. Tried to use the width. Available is Walter. Came on and got a yellow card. Sumbani being urged to go forward is Mozambique. Showed too much of the ball. That is Mozambique, and Nathan picks that up. It is Padera who's been instrumental in the middle of the park there for Zimbabwe. Tanaka loses out. Here's Mozambique. Another opportunity, and that is disappointing. That is disappointing. So can Zimbabwe continue their dominance? Nathan being asked. Here's a chance here for Padera. Could this be the final nail in the coffin? He leaves the ball behind. That is Menzi. Oh, that is disappointing. I'm sure the coaches on the bench had already counted that and said, it is 3-0, 3-1. Here's Nathan. A chance for Zimbabwe to game, set, and match. Your beauty. 3-1 the scoreline. The dominance of Zimbabwe remains. That is the final nail in the coffin. And the celebrations continue. A polished performance, a good piece of play. They opened up the defense of Mozambique and the heads go down. Zimbabwe with the fighting spirit and the determination. The ball coming out from the right-hand side. Picking up Tanaka. Tanaka picks his head up, lays it back for an oncoming Makunike. And placement by Makunike deserving of a brilliant goal. So Zimbabwe close the curtains on Mozambique in their third and final match of this group. So we can confirm that Zimbabwe will be on 4 points. 3 minutes to go to the referee's optional time before he brings an end. So Junior did well to keep his composure. Here's another chance as Tanaka takes that ball and whips it in. Goes over the woodwork. Another strike. This one simple, direct to the keeper. Yes, Zimbabwe combining well, very composed in the middle of the park. Good one to be played by Mozambique. Walter, Chimatu, Baptista has come on. Baptista whipping in that ball and gets a deflection. So a corner. It's really been a lot to ask. A lot to ask of Mozambique as the player has been helped up to his feet, chewing the clock, and the stretcher being asked to come on. They can't wait to celebrate. They can't wait to celebrate. So corner for Mozambique. Could this be the closing minutes? As the referee could blow his whistle any time now. Just still allowing play to continue. As the last touch comes off Pandera. And that ball goes out for another corner. Header away. Another chance for Mozambique. Another corner, that is. It's been frantic defending by Zimbabwe to stay ahead, to remain focused on the job at hand. Ball in, header away, as far as the edge of the box. Fantastic effort as that ball is hacked away. Atropa, the only player left in that defense, ran his socks off, and the referee blows his whistle once, twice, 3 times to bring an end to a frantic match in which Zimbabwe continued their dominance over Mozambique in what was a thriller minute. 4 goals in total. 4 goals in total. So Zimbabwe showing that this was an energy-sapping match as they all go down in a heap and on their knees. That's how the match ends here at the Toyota Stadium. It is Zimbabwe that come away with a win by 3 goals to 1. Pulsating stuff. changes were brought on, didn't make a difference for Mozambique. And Zimbabwe were absolutely menacing in the final third. Well, Tandolwenko Singwenya is undoubtedly the man of the match, the HollywoodBets COSAFA player of the match, and deserving of his praise. Well, South Africa also playing to a draw, a 0-0 draw. As we confirm the scoreline here, it is Zimbabwe 3, Mozambique 1. Let's...
She's running in present. She was helping us. Coach, you can stand.
Can you hear me?